Hey, today I want to welcome back my friend Tommy Lampley, who's an experienced CRA. And today's video is really targeted at companies, I would say, clinical research sites, CROs, sponsors, because I think what we talk about today regarding internships is a very important way that companies could help not just the professionalization of our industry, but also create career paths for people in clinical research. And you'll hear Tommy's story about why his internship was so important to him. He was at the site level and he became a CRA. He learned what he liked. So stay tuned for that because I think it's a great story about what we could accomplish if we structured internships throughout our companies. So I'd like to switch gears to internships. It was something you brought up that I think is important for us to follow up on because you've been able to explain to us what a CRA does and maybe some pathways to get there. One of the things I talked about with Susan Landis, the executive director of ACRP, is she would like to see formal internship programs in the industry so that we have a way to show people how to get into that. I know you've met a lot of people over the years in different, because you have sponsors, CROs, sites. Do you see internships around very much? And if so, where?
Yeah, that is one of the as you mentioned, in your commentary with that previous interview, that's one of the big gaps I think in the industry. Had I not been exposed to the industry in general in graduate school, I don't know that I would ever know that it even existed. And so along with that, uh, you don't see them very often. I have seen at different periods CROs having what they call a bridge program, and that would be like a bridge from a CRC to a CRA. I've seen that. I've even seen uh, pay for play programs, if you will, that allow you to um, learn a CRA skill set. It'll be like an academy based curriculum or an online curriculum that you go through, and then the vendor may place you with a site or maybe with a staffing organization and allows you to get experience in that route. But you don't really see traditional internships, particularly internships like the ones that I had, that I know of. Um, it's a gap. I think that's one of the gaps in the industry, and it's interesting that it is a gap because at different levels, there's a resourcing issue in the industry at the site level,
Right.
at the CRO level, at the sponsor level, maybe not as much because a lot of things are outsourced to the CRO level. But there is a shortage of individuals with the skill set to monitor studies and with the skill set to coordinate studies. And a lot of times, this is just my 2 cents. I think part of the reason that you have that shortage is individuals may leave coordination to become monitors, leaving a shortage of CRCs, and individuals may get burned out as CRAs because it can be very intense after a period of time with all the travel. And so with that, you want to have a method of bringing new individuals on, particularly, I think, individuals with certain backgrounds, nursing students, maybe pre-med students, that have an interest in contributing to the advancement of medicine, but just really don't know that this industry is available.
Perfect. Thank you. Um, so I have a question that I'm asking everyone. What is exciting or amazing about working in clinical research?
So for me, it's the fact that every day is different, right? So as a CRA, and I think it is pretty standard across every industry. There's something different happening at each site. You have a patient coming in, a different patient at each site. They have their own story. And even though as a CRA, you don't necessarily engage directly with the story, um, in oncology, you do because you read patient charts, you read progress notes. So you're basically reviewing a journey, albeit through reading material, but it's essentially following along a scientific journey to see whether or not this drug works. And you're almost a gatekeeper, if you will, to say, hey, that doesn't look right, or hey, wow, this patient is really responding. And so, having the opportunity to, be a part of that overall process. We see drugs get approved, we see drugs not get approved, but to be a part of that lifeblood, that life cycle of medicine going forward, or drugs that don't work not making it through, I think is riveting. It keeps me up, with multiple screens, making sure, I'm reviewing data and getting data in, and just being responsive to the various parties that are involved in this intricate process.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you thought of the patient and their story because so many times people think monitoring is only about the data, but the data is a human story seen through the lens of a protocol. That was
Right.
gorgeous. Thank you so much, Tommy. I really, really appreciate you.
Absolutely.